Hello guys, good morning. Sorry you can't see me. Like many of you, I'm a bit in the dark at the moment. Fucking hell. And as usual, I made some notes because there's some shit I want to talk about, but already my mind is drawn a blank, which happens every time I want to do a video these days. And there's of course a fucking reason for that, because the dark side really doesn't like to be exposed. I've had a very interesting Mandela effect the other day. Somebody's surname changed from Frazier to Fraser. It was like, wow. And it was unmistakable because it happened within minutes, literally, because I were asked to spell their name and they spelled Frazier. And then it became Fraser several minutes later. Quite interesting. So, as you know, I've got 2 cats. I used to have 3, but I have 2 now. And I am very, obviously I take a keen interest in their diet for reasons of my love for them and their well-being. So I came across this cat food online that claims to be more natural, raw-based diet. So they said, oh well, you can get in touch with us or go to our website and you can order a trial box and try it out. So I did. I paid them some money and I got the pouches and this, that and the other, and they arrived. They didn't smell right at all. My cats didn't like it at all. And so I decided, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to stick with the other cat food that I have. So then I get an email this morning saying your next order of our cat food will be on the way in 2 days. We'll be taking payment from you today. We'll be taking it right out of your bank account. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, literally, I started feeling the heat straight away, the rage straight away, because I never committed to anything whatsoever, nor was I asked. And this is a typical example of the kind of world that we live in now. And it's parasitism is what it is. And people are being, what's the word, when it's being normalized. It's being normalized. It wasn't really so much like that in the 70s, the 80s, or even the 90s. The world has just gone down this slippery slope more overtly ever since 2012, in my humble opinion. It's become darker and darker, where it seems to be perfectly okay to lure people into something like, oh, subscribe to this or subscribe to that or try this out or come and see us and taste this or whatever. And it's always made to look really good and wholesome and innocuous. And then the trap goes snap and you're in. All of a sudden you find that, oh, I'm trying to unsubscribe. It's like this Patreon does this. You subscribe to Patreon in order to, well, for whatever reason you do, and unsubscribing from them is very, very difficult. For example, any kind of Amazon subsidiary channel as well, or anything, and with this cat food thing. So, of course there's no email address, of course there was no phone number either, but I did find a phone number because I ferreted it out. And I've verified it, and I will be getting in touch with my bank as well, obviously, because I'm not having that at all. Because if it was a case of they had asked me, do you want to subscribe to a regular delivery of our cat food every month, I would have said no. I just want to try it out, and now I have tried it out. My cats went They literally gave me this look as if to say, are you fucking kidding me? Because it really didn't smell right. I know cat food never does, but this was just wrong. It wasn't right. And I should have, you know, but anyway. So this is something that, this is the kind of world that we live in now. And of course what's been happening here now as well is that small businesses where you have people that still behave in the old way of, you know, people that appreciate their customers and that give something back, people that are honest, people that have integrity, where you know you're safe, people that you can do business with, that you can buy your cat food off, or your shoes, or whatever it is, you know, your food, whatever. All these small businesses are being eradicated in these evil lockdowns, and the world is just being turned into one giant corporation, just one corporation that provides our food, our clothing, our homes, our electricity, all of that. And of course, that is just but a tiny part of a much larger thing. Because I've known this for ages anyway, but as you know things on this level, but you know it in a whole new way, on a much deeper level. And it's that we are groomed in every imaginable way to be batteries, people. This is a world of parasites, and we are the food. It's as simple as that. It's everywhere you go, you know, you or these ads that you get, you know, use Grammarly. Writing is difficult. Grammar, spelling is difficult. So you need Grammarly, because you can't spell, you can't write, you're stupid, you can't do that. Or it's like, oh, everywhere you go now, you know, you have stickers on the floor showing you 2 little feet and arrows. Go this direction, go there, walk around there. Redirect every aspect of your life, because you cannot think for yourself. You don't know what to do. You need constant support. You need... It's like we're treated like we are completely incapable of just anything. Like we're just nothing, you know? And this is constantly reinforced. It's reinforced in novels, in books, it's reinforced in films, it's reinforced in television series, it's even reinforced in fashion, in art, in advertising. There are numerous other aspects that are also constantly being reinforced, like that we're worthless and that we're disgusting and that we're bad. But the fact that the nuance, the notion that we are powerless and stupid and incapable is a very important aspect, because it feeds directly into the whole kind of battery psychology. I'm in constant need. I am a bottomless pit person. I am in constant need of something. I want validation, I want security, I want safety, I want comfort, I want to know that I'm okay. I want to know that my needs are going to be met. And of course our experience has been the opposite. We don't get to have any of those things. Sometimes we get a very shallow, temporary semblance of it, but it's not the real deal, and it's Coca-Cola ad, and it's gone, just like that. You know, the mind of the narcissist, the mind of the psychopath is empty. It is an infinite emptiness. It's hollow, and it seeks to feed forever and ever. You see, that ultimately is what evil is in its essence. It believes itself to be nothing. Everything that it tells us we are, it believes itself to be. Evil projects itself onto us, you see. And that is basically that, in my humble opinion. Now, so apart from the fact that we're through all these you know, throughout the system, basically, we're being told every day that we're so, you know, powerless and so incapable and inefficient and whatever. We're also told that it is good to be selfless and to be a selfless person. Now, I call this martyr programming, of course, because what does it mean to be selfless? You know, it's like I was watching this little YouTube video this morning, and it was all about that, how good it is to be a selfless person and to allow other people to take from you and to give to them and give everything to everybody and to be selfless, you know, and to allow yourself to be fed off of continually. And oh, the community loved her so much, she was such a good person, she was so self-sacrificing and selfless, everybody loved her. And it's like, they didn't love her. She was a convenient buffet in human form. No love going on there whatsoever. Imagine, right, if we were entirely self-sufficient, if we were whole within ourselves, if we were capable of really loving ourselves, upholding ourselves, honouring ourselves, providing for ourselves everything that we need in such a way that it does not harm or hurt anything or anyone at all. Imagine a bunch of beings like that who are all completely self-sufficient and completely whole and in their power and in their magic, and beings like that getting together saying, right guys, yeah, we no longer exist in the chain. We are now free from that chain of parasitism where, you know, I am empty and I need something, so I'm going to take it from you, and then you are empty, so you need something, so you take it from someone else, and then that person is also empty. We're all perpetually running on empty, and we're all perpetually, one way or another, needing something, either mostly from the system, but also from each other. We parasite off of each other emotionally. We often enough don't even know we're doing it. We have the givers and we have the takers, and there's a lot of people that basically take. They take and take and take, but they don't know how to give. Or they say they know how to give. They talk about, oh, I care so much, and you know, I wouldn't, I know if I could, but it never actually materializes, of course. So you know, it's all bullshit. It's a chain reaction of parasitism, of emptiness, of neediness, weakness, of I need something, I haven't got it within me, so I need it from someone or something else. And it's not the truth of us, really. It really is just, it's just, well, the way we're programmed from the very beginning in every imaginable way to be prey. That is what we are here, people. And everything is done to keep us that way. Relationships, I'm talking about friendships, I'm talking about just the way we relate to each other as people. Whether that's somebody in your neighborhood or a member of your family or a friend or an acquaintance, doesn't really matter. You see, it's meant to be an exchange. It's not okay to give and to get nothing back. I know we're taught that, oh, isn't it wonderful to give and to expect nothing back? Aren't you a paragon of virtue? Well, I don't believe in that at all. I think that when people give to you, you need to give something back. There has to be a circle. There has to be an exchange. It doesn't have to be in kind. It's simply that I've received something from this person, whatever that might be. So I feel a deep sense of appreciation because what I have received from this person has nourished me. It makes me feel good. So I want to give something back. That is what I believe in, at the very least. I also believe in doing everything we can whilst even yet being in this parasite realm to really nurture ourselves, to alchemize the darkness within us, to do the sacred work, to keep doing that and to take responsibility instead of projecting it onto other people or expecting things from other people that we need to be giving to ourselves, because we do this all the time as well. Validation, approval, belonging, love. If you do not know how to give that to yourself, or at least to be working on that, then other people may give you a semblance of it. They may give it to you genuinely, but it's just going to get lost in the bottomless pit that lies at the center of your being, you know. This realm is revealing its true nature to those of us who choose to see, who choose to awaken that deeply. And it is a parasite realm. It reinforces that in every imaginable way. And in our relationships, such as they are, we experience that feeding frenzy. And we often engage in that behavior without even being aware of it at all. We don't know we're doing it. It's not our fault. We were taught to be that way. We were taught to receive and not give anything back by parents, by the system, etc. Or we were taught to give and give and give and not expect anything back. That meant we are a good person. I find for soul travelers that is genuinely how it is. We give and we never get much back at all. We thrive on giving until we no longer thrive on it because we realise, hold on a fucking minute, I never get anything back. And that's when you realise that you have to stop giving. We go through, often enough, we go through childhoods where we're so abused that we mistake narcissism, gaslighting, manipulation for love. It's that fucked up, people. We don't actually see, we do not see. And so we engage with people and situations that are inherently narcissistic, toxic, parasitical. And we cannot see. And we get a sense of almost like belonging from it, because it's like, oh, this is, yeah, this is good. These people are my friends. But you awaken more deeply and you start to understand, you start to realize the true nature of these relationships, and you realize it's parasitical, actually. People that do not respect our boundaries are not friends. But if we have parents that didn't allow us to have boundaries, we're not going to know that. We're not going to understand that dichotomy at all. We're going to attract that same shit into our lives. It's going to play out in our relationships. It's highly traumatic and it's parasitical. And it's incredibly empowering to learn to see that and to set boundaries, to finally get it, that somebody is pretending to be a friend or wanting to be your friend, but is actually highly manipulative, dangling. They do this, baiting. They like baiting, narcs. They flatter you. They'll flatter you, you know, with something. And they try and lure you in. They like you to get curious. They'll say something to arouse your curiosity whilst flattering you at the same time. And that's how they want to lure you in. And because you do not yet know really how to validate yourself, that flattery grows, whoa, yeah, this is a friend. No, they're a parasite. They're a psychopath. They're a narc. You see, we've been like a house with the front door wide open for so long, people, that, you know, our need for wholeness, completion, belonging, safety, for knowing our true self, for a sense of power, that has been so missing. Yet we long for it because we have a memory of it. It's like the Akashic records in a way, you know. All the truth, the knowing of what we are is there, though it is hidden, but it is there. It is why we know intrinsically that all of this is horribly wrong. We know that. It's like even as a child, you know, when you're being used and abused by the very people that are supposed to love and protect you and nurture you, you know it's wrong. That's why many of us carry such rage. But because it was normalized, all that shit happens to you as a child, and you see that reflected in the world around you, so it is your normal, you don't realize, but you're so angry. That is your sign, your Geiger counter to it being evil and wrong. And you perpetuate that behavior, allow these narcs to feed off you. You think that's the only way to be loved and to be accepted, to be safe. Until you awaken to the level where you get it and where you start to set boundaries. And at first, setting boundaries is actually a really scary thing. It makes you feel bad. The dark generator attacks you because it senses that you are escaping its clutches, right? So it comes at you saying, oh, you can't set boundaries. You're a bad person. You need to keep your front door wide open and let these narcissists come right in and take whatever they like. That's what you need to do. That's the way to stay safe. That's the way to be well. You need to allow yourself to be to be mind controlled by all the ads telling you that you're weak and ineffectual and that you need help and you need support. You need to be taught what to do, what to think, what to wear and where to go. You need to trust the doctors and the scientists and the dentists. You need to trust all the narcissists telling you this and that and the other. You need to allow yourself to be completely fed off of and manipulated and sucked dry. That is the only way to stay safe. That is the incredible ultimate lie, isn't it? Because of course the batteries, and why do you think we grow old, people? They tell us this, you know. How many movies can you think of, or TV series like Stargate Atlantis, where you get these beings that, you know, what about vampires, for fuck's sake? You know, they feed off you and your whole body just turns into a raisin. It just shrivels and dies. We live terribly short lives, people. We function on barely a smidgen of our true capacity, even in the mundane level. We use 10% of our brain and we have all this junk DNA. You get what I'm saying? It's all fucking lies and subterfuge. It's appalling, this entire monstrosity of a deprivation chamber. Start to pay attention to your friendships, to your relationships. Any other human being that you are involved with, whether that's online, the perfect place for narcs, Because you can't really, I mean, I read people's energy signatures. It's something that I was always able to do, but I never trusted my ability to do so. And I wasn't even aware that I was doing it until I woke up to the level where I became far more self-aware and far more aware of the nags, the parasites. And I learned, right, now I can tell whether somebody's a nag and out to feed on me, or whether somebody is on the spectrum. They have nag tendencies, but they're not an out-and-out nag. Like I said, when you swim in water, you get wet. Or whether somebody is a genuinely good person who is really working on their shit, but who still has issues, haven't we all? You know. Start to pay attention, people, because, you know, yes, it's fucking traumatic as hell. It's difficult. It's frightening to set boundaries. It's frightening to say no. It's frightening to admit that, oh yeah, this person is a narcissist and I need to get the fuck away from them. When really you want them to be a nice person. You want them to be a friend. You want them to mean well. That's what you want. So you choose to go with that. Keep on believing that that's the truth. But it's not. That is not what they are. You know. And when, you know, perhaps for a time people stop giving. I think I'm going to, because I give too much. I give to people still, and, well, frankly, no. We're so used to giving to others. What do we give to ourselves here? Are we giving to ourselves? I mean, here we are, alchemizing and processing and transmuting a shit load, a tidal wave, a tsunami of evil filth, programming, trauma, mind control, like beyond fucking words. That's why we feel so fucking horrendous, by the way. Because we are processing that. We're in it, right? We're in it. The left brain can't make any fucking sense out of it, so it thinks that we're fucked and we're finished. The dark generator is there every day. It was always there every day, by the way, guys, but we weren't aware of it. We weren't aware of it, but it's been there every minute of our existence in this fucking deprivation chamber. It's always been there, alright? We've been batteries all this time. So, it's there, you know. It's incredible what we're doing here. What we are actually accomplishing is incredible, because that is the miracle, the light in all of this. You think about where you were a year ago in terms of your understanding and your perception, right, of it all. Behaviorally as well, because we are amending our behavior continually, tweaking it continually as new information and new clarity and insights, perception is coming in all the time. As we are transmuting all the shit, you know. And I mean, it's a bit like, you know, uncovering the mass graves and seeing all the horrors. Seeing it all. Seeing how everywhere you look in this world, everywhere, you see what is being done, how we are being targeted, even by the very people that pose as our family, as our friends, our co-workers, our bosses, all of this filth. Most people, they're non-souled, they're nothing. They are literally just software programs. They are mindless automatons and just perpetuating the parasitism. That's why they're so toxic, you know, and then they have no curiosity, they have no creativity, they have no imagination. They all love magnolia and beige and khaki. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. Or grey. They seem to shy away from colours. And they're all quite narcissistic. Some of them pure psychopaths. Others, well, they're manageable. You know, you can put up with them in small amounts here and there. But you know, ultimately, they're feedy needy. But you still have the cognitive dissonance going on as well, telling you, oh, you can't say that. You can't think people aren't souls. You can't say that. You're a bad person. Ooh. If you just go and give them lots of love and attention, you see, they're just wounded, and you need to go and take care of them and give everything to them, and they'll be all right then. Well, how about, well, I'm really wounded, so why is it that I need to go, whilst being really wounded myself, go and look after those really wounded people? And no matter what I do, they never seem to get any less wounded. They never take care of themselves. They never own their shit. You see, that is, again, you being a battery. And I've spoken about all of this stuff before, you know, but it is just all these different behaviors, these different states of mind, these different programs that just want to keep us trapped, feed, suck. And we are becoming aware of all of these different elements and fragments and nuances of this massive fucking psyop that it is. And we are making those choices to say, actually, I see you, you're a narcissist, so go fuck yourself, get the fuck away from me. Anybody who comes at you from above, condescendingly, patronizingly, tells you what you should be doing, what you should be eating, what you should be thinking, what you should believe, how it really is most likely a narcissist or somebody on the spectrum. They have pathology, people. They have a need to control and manipulate, and that is feeding, by the way, all right? Because it's like this need to, I need to build myself up at the expense of something or someone else, you see? And of course that's what this world is all about, isn't it? Never mind fucking, what is that word they bandy about so much now? Sustainability, yeah. Oh, that's another lovely term in a narc world, in a parasite world. Well, I'm going to feed off you only, you know, it's like a vampire saying, well, I'm going to drink your blood, but I won't let you die. I'm just going to keep you alive so I can keep feeding off you, you know, because it's sustainable then, isn't it? It's such a fucking nonsense, guys, you know. My main focus now is on wholeness, and I know that wholeness cannot be whilst the dark generator is alive, whilst that little grey beastie with the black eyes that is already dead exists. Something here has to fucking die. It has to be utterly annihilated. I know that. I understand what this realm is now. There are still parts that I do not get. I also know that. But there is a lot I do sense, because I have seen it, I have experienced it. It is a kind of knowing, not with the left brain, on a much different level, on a much deeper level, on a much realer level. I know that the dark generator is telling me every day that this is all there is, and that, you know, that it is so powerful and so dark and so overall that there is no way out, that there's no way that you're ever going to be able to sort this out, there's no way you can fix this, there's no way, no, it's just, this is all there is, it's terrible, it's appalling, and you're just so depressed and you're so anxious, and there is nothing you can do, there is nothing you can do, there is no light, there is no love. I mean, come on, get real, that's just a delusion, you're just, no, evil's all powerful, look at the state you're in, blah blah blah, every day. And that is, in part, yeah, the dark generator, the dark broadcast, like the mainstream media every day. But I also know that the reason that's still happening is because there are still shadow parts of me believing that must be true. It's a fucking problem, people. I know it's a bit of a Queen-Gungs type of situation here, catch-22, because we have lived it. We have experienced exactly that. We have been so severely abused and traumatized. It is truly beyond words. You see, but I do know the power of the light, because I would not have arrived at this point within my consciousness to have had so much revealed to me, to understand so much now, to have made so many changes and amendments, to have come home to myself to this degree already, you know. Much has happened that is good and powerful and wholesome and magical, because to achieve this level of perception now, to get this, to be able to love myself, to be able to carry myself, and whilst at the same time still alchemizing and transmuting vast amounts of really toxic sludge here, is nothing short of miraculous. So for any of you, excuse me, I've got, you know, for any of you out there thinking that all is lost, that is your trauma self listening to the dark generator, believing it. And that is being fed off of. Because the dark generator is panicking. It's panicking. That's why it's so now, you see. Because you're slipping out of its clutches, layer after layer, soul fragment by soul fragment. Once you really understand the nature of this realm, the parasitical nature of it, once you learn to read other, you know, people's energy signatures or not, when you're dealing with an NPC, you know, because there just is nothing there. I call it the tumbleweed sensation. It's like, there's nothing there, nothing. You get people that there is something there, like a smidgen of something, but they're so pathological, it's appalling, and you just can't be with them at all. Then you get people who have slightly more energy, and they're a bit more with it, and they're beginning to awaken. That, anyway, has been my experience. I'm not going to call it this, that or the other. I'm simply going with my own personal observations. I find most people, one way or another, are very, very difficult to be around. They are incredibly needy, because we are completely and utterly programmed to think of ourselves as needy. I'm so needy. Oh, I need to be told what. Please, doctor, tell me what's wrong with me. Oh, you have an imbalance in the brain. You know, all this bullshit. When I've learned more and more self-sufficiency. I have learned more and more to trust my own gut instincts, to trust my heart, to trust my impressions, to trust my intuition more and more, and to act on that. I'm not saying that I have arrived. No, I'm not that. I'm not saying that. But I'm getting to grips with it, and I think that really, really matters. All of that, to get what this place is, to look at your relationships and think about what childhood you had and think, am I able to discern and to recognize what I am dealing with here in terms of this person, in terms of this place, in terms of this situation? Can I read its energy, and am I able and willing to own what it is? Because if it is not of the light, and it isn't good for me, if it is using me, manipulating me, feeding off me in any way, what shape or form, if it wants things from me, am I able to own that? Am I able to acknowledge that to myself? And am I courageous enough to say, see that now, so I'm going to walk away. I'm going to say, no, I don't want to know you anymore, because, or you don't even have to say that. Just say, look, mate, sorry, this is where our ways must part. You know, and it's going to make you feel awkward. It's going to make you feel The dark generator will tell you that you're a bad person and that you're going to end up all alone with no friends. It's going to tell you all kinds of shit because it wants you to stay in these dysfunctional, toxic, narky entanglements with these people and these places and these systems and these jobs and these this and these that. You see? You don't always have a choice either, you know. It might be that you're entangled in something that you can't just walk away from. You may be dealing with a man you have children with, a woman you have children with, something. It may be your own children. It cannot always be that simple. I realise this. I'm lucky, I must say, in that respect. But be aware of your power to discern and to recognise that that power has been covered over by layers of programming and trauma that gets in the way. It's there, it's all there, but you must do the work, you must recognise, you must see, you must keep digging. Somehow I feel that recognising intrinsically what this realm is, what it does, how it functions, and to transmute the fallout within you, the fallout of being a soul traveller, a souled being, an infinite being, in this sick abomination of a deprivation chamber, to really deal with that, to really go into that. And that is what some of us are doing here, and that is why we feel so horrific. It has to be alchemized, it has to be confronted, it has to be seen, it has to be acknowledged, it has to be felt. And whilst you're going through that, you will not get any validation or any comfort from your trauma self and from the left brain and the dark generators, sensing, of course, that you are slowly but surely escaping it. Clutches will attack more fiercely than ever before, also because it is all coming up. That trauma is no longer in the subconscious, it's here in the living room, all of that. Oh yeah. So again, I said it before and I'll say it again, if you feel really, really shit and you think you're not going to be alright, you're not going to make it, all is lost, I'll say more likely than not getting it right. Okay, you know, that's it. You are everything you have been taught you are not. You are powerful, you are magical, you are infinite love and infinite creativity, and this world is not your home. It's not my home either. This is a fucking sick nightmare. Something lives in our consciousness, the dark generator, retico, the dark passenger, call it whatever you like, the archonic mind virus, that is at us from the minute we enter this insane asylum, at us. Now we see it, and we see how it plays out and what it has done, what it has created, you see, and then we can at least on that level start to work to freedom, work our way into something here creatively, and for some reason that feels very, very important, because I feel that it is some sort of gateway that we can pass through in order to receive something. It is our ticket, our key to the way out of this. We're not meant to be here anymore. This is our exit strategy, people. That is what I feel. There's far more to it than what I can possibly put into words. But to get the parasitism, the feeding thing, and to really look at that, and to really look at your relationships in this world, and just really pay attention to all of it. Really ask that, what is this? What is happening here? How am I feeling? All of it, all of it, all of it. Because to really get that right now is very important. And to that end, I would like anyone who regularly listens to my videos and who gets something from them, to, subscribe. please. That would be good, because I like doing these videos. I benefit from doing them, but other people, you, watch these videos and get something from them as well. I don't have to have a YouTube channel. I could do these videos just for myself and not share them with you. But I choose to share them because I think that there are people out there who gain from me talking about my own personal experiences and journey, as I watch YouTube channels by people who also do that, in a real sense, and authentically share of their own experiences. You know, I have learned a lot from that, so I have received a lot of goodness from that. So to show my appreciation, then I subscribe to that channel. I give it a like, sometimes leave a comment, you know, because that is the very least that I can do. So if you regularly listen to my videos and you resonate with them, please show me the appreciation and subscribe. All right? Bless you all.